Hello everyone. Last week I said we'd think a bit more about what Jesus meant when he promised to always be with his friends. Today's story helps us to understand what happened after Jesus left the earth and went to be with his Father. Have you ever thought what weird but wonderful things God does for us? In this story, every time I say weird, can you say but wonderful? I think that would be really weird, but wonderful. You're right. What a weird but wonderful time it was. We'd followed Jesus and seen him do things that were weird but wonderful. We'd watched him get arrested and die on the cross. Then there was that weird but wonderful Sunday when he came back to life. After a picnic on the beach, which was weird but wonderful, Jesus took us up a hill outside the city and he said goodbye, promising that he would be with us always. What a weird but wonderful thing to say. And then he disappeared. So we kept meeting together to try to work out what weird but wonderful thing was going to happen next. And about a week after Jesus left us, something weird but wonderful did happen. We were all in a room in Jerusalem when suddenly there was this weird but wonderful noise, like a rushing wind. It was coming from heaven, and the noise filled the whole house. Filled each of us up too. It was like we were floppy balloons being filled with air. Weird but wonderful. And then we saw with our own eyes what looked like flames resting on each of us. Weird but wonderful. And we were all filled with the Holy Spirit, and we started speaking in languages we didn't know we could speak. Weird but wonderful. And people from different countries in the street heard us and were amazed that they could understand what we were saying. Some said we were drunk, others said weird but wonderful. Then Peter got up and told everyone that this was God's Holy Spirit at work, helping us all to have Jesus alive in us. And the crowds believed him. And do you know, about 3,000 people became Christians that very day, and the church was born. And the same Holy Spirit helps us to have Jesus alive in us today. Weird but wonderful. Yes, wonderful, you're absolutely right. We call the day we celebrate Jesus sending the Holy Spirit Pentecost. That just means 50 days, as it was the name of the Jewish festival when this happened, 50 days after Passover. Or sometimes it's called Whit Sunday, because the church often celebrated baptisms then, and those being baptised wore white, which is where Whit comes from. But more important than that, Pentecost is when Jesus kept his promise which he made to his friends before he left to go into heaven. Can you remember what that was? He promised to be with them always and everywhere. And the way he was going to do that was by giving them his Holy Spirit. There are word pictures in this story which are symbols for the way we speak about the Holy Spirit. I wonder what you think these symbols mean. What do they tell us about the Holy Spirit? Fire, wind, can you think of other symbols which we use for the Holy Spirit? You might have thought of a dove, or water. Why do you think we use those symbols? Close your eyes now and think about your favourite picture of the Holy Spirit. Think quietly about why you chose that symbol.